Yeah, what's up, YouTube? So, Cook Racing here. We're back with the Impulse. Cleaned her up a little bit. A little Windex. Don't hurt nobody. So, let's get right to it. Unfortunately, on the exterior of this, I have hose, but I don't have enough to run this hose to the motor. This is one of the reasons why I prefer to keep a lot of this stuff just in case one of my friends or somebody asks, drops off a boat and we get to it. This line is the stock line, like I was saying before in part one. It's not efficient enough to keep this cool. Another thing too is I have another antenna tube that I can run on here. I just put some grease inside this hole until I can find it. I spent a lot of time sharpening and balancing this prop. I gotta go back through it one more time. It was real bad. I didn't polish it. I just went through, and it needs a little bit more TLC. It usually takes me about 3 hours to go through something like that. I'm not sure how much time I have into it, but let's get into the interior of this, where the magic happens. And let's see. All right. So as you can see, I made a few changes. The line that I did have, it's a little bit bigger. It'll cool all the way to the exhaust side here. I went bigger on this side of the motor. The pickup side, which I wish it would have been the other way around, but I had to choose, and I'm not sure if he has any troubles. If you look at the coupler down here, it's greased all the way in and tightened. It's nice and straight. I had to replace the teflon line inside of it. Flex cable looks good. I took a lot of this pad, Scotch-Brite pad. Let's see. I took my Scotch-Brite pad and I went through and took the surface rust off of it, folded it in half, went through it, soaked it in PB Blaster, you see over there. And then, like I said, I use one of these and I cut the tip. It angles, and I just fill it full of grease. I use Marina grease, which is cheaper. $5 gets you a huge tube of it versus the $21 that you get. And then all the nuts. This is red Loctite, which I don't use. I use blue Loctite. Shake it up well, put it on the nuts. What the problem was on this was the coupler and the flex shaft, and the motor mount here, which is this is a metal motor mount. I'm not sure if it's aluminum or stainless. These two screws here on the motor needed to be adjusted down. That's kind of like rule number one when you go buy one of these. Just because it says it's ready to run doesn't mean it's ready to run. If you're going to buy a boat that says ready to run, go through everything. I don't care if it's an RC car or whatever. You might want to upgrade bearings or lube them yourself. You know, I always do, or I try to. So the hosing and the connectors, everything looks really good. I'm gonna put some dielectric gel inside of here to keep it waterproof. He's gonna be happy, I hope. And I got it pretty clean. I got WD-40 on top of the inside of the motor here. I got lightweight oil for the bearing here on the other side of the motor. I set it up and then I turned it again. So motor should be A1. It's a 1700 kV, 1750. I'm impressed with seeing those kind of numbers on 6S. It probably doesn't even get hot because of the low kV. Other than that, the Impulse 31. Another thing too. Shout out to Gearhead Addict. He has one too. These bolts are pretty awesome. They stopped making them out of this, which is just a fiberglass hull. You know, and they went to ABS plastic, which ABS plastic is a lot durable. There's usually things inside of the water that you don't even want to know about. There's a Loch Ness monster waiting to hit you in the hull. I've seen these things explode by hitting some debris in the water. But you know, I usually scout out the spots that I'm running my boat. My sonic wake, I usually just you know, run at this one spot, and sometimes I'm way out too far. I should be glassing it, getting my binoculars out, glassing to see if I see any logs. But you can't do that much. Just cross your fingers. It's ABS plastic. I've hit worse stuff, like within my first hours of owning my sonic wake, and it took it pretty well. The hulls on these things, you know, pretty cool. What I'm going to do now, since I'm not running my Victor, is I'm going to go just buy me a new hull. I don't know if I'm going to, I wanted the Bill Oxidine Marine boat. I think I'm just going to get a hull, throw my gear inside of that. It's Kevlar. And, you know, hopefully that's how it goes. But right now I'm into these bikes. Do me a favor, please like and subscribe. It's Cook Racing, like I said. This is Dave's boat. Dave, I hope you're pleased. It's gonna be night and day. I mean, especially with the prop being balanced, a new Teflon line. Hopefully, I had bought 24 inches of it, 2 feet of it. I had the right stuff for it. I would upgrade the flex shaft cable, but I think it's gonna last a long time, or a lot longer than it would have. I'm impressed that you bought such a great machine. All right, fellas, Cook Racing, like, subscribe, and I'll keep bringing this stuff to you. Peace.